to you, but way louder. Now, we all know, or at least sense, that the world is upside down. We act as if there is no end to what is actually finite. Fossil fuels and the atmospheric space to absorb their emissions. And we act as if there are strict and immovable limits to what is actually bountiful. The financial resources to build the kind of society that we need, and the task of our time is to turn this around, to challenge this false scarcity, to insist that we can afford to build a decent and inclusive society, while at the same time respect the real limits to what the earth can take.
Yeah.
What climate change means is that we have to do this on a deadline. This time, our movement cannot get distracted, divided, burned out, or swept away by events. This time, we have to succeed. And I'm not talking about regulating the banks and increasing taxes on the rich, though that's important. I'm talking about changing the underlying values that govern our society. And that is hard to fit into a single, media-friendly demand. And it's also hard to figure out how to do it, but it is no less urgent for being difficult. Now, that is what I see happening in this square. In the way you are feeding each other and keeping each other warm and sharing information freely and providing health care and meditation classes and empowerment training. My favorite sign here says, I care about you.
Yeah.
And a culture that trains people to avoid each other's gaze, to say, let them die, that is a deeply radical statement. And we have picked a fight with the most powerful economic and political forces on the planet. And that is frightening.
Yeah.
And as this movement grows from strength to strength, it will be more frightening. Always be aware that there will be a temptation to shift to smaller targets, like, say, the person sitting next to you. After all, that is a battle that's easier to win, and don't give in to this temptation. And not saying don't call each other on shit.
Yeah.
But this time, let's treat each other as if we plan to work side by side. Because the task before us will demand nothing less. Let's treat this beautiful movement as if it is the most important thing in the world. Because it is.
Right now.
It really is.
Yeah.